Hello, hello, friends. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a great start to the week. I am just wrapping up my workday, but I want to hop on live because I have a very important message to tell you about content. And I feel like there's a lot of confusion between when do I produce video content, when do I produce written content. And so I want to clear that up. So I'm going to drop some pretty meaty content on you because I think you can handle it. And I really feel like there's a lot of you that are feeling stuck when it comes to visibility. And I feel like this is going to be a game changer. Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. Okay, let's dive in. You hear a lot of the times that video is queen, right? You may have even caught me on Facebook Live, right? Or seen videos that I batch as a part of my content miracle process. And I do think that video is powerful. However, I truly believe that the best way to start your content so that it's easy to repurpose, so that you build confidence online the fastest, the best way is written content. I truly, truly believe that. And I feel like the skill of learning to write really good copy is something that you just can't outsource. Yes, you can hire a copywriter, but I believe as an entrepreneur, one of the biggest skill sets that you can establish in your business is learning how to identify what the messages of your business and how to articulate that. And you do that easiest and best with written content. Let me give you some examples. You may have watched someone's online webinar before, right? But you've likely only done that after you've read the ad copy they wrote that was really compelling, right? You probably have hopped on video with someone before, either live or listened to a podcast, but probably after you've seen them post something on social media that was compelling, right? I really feel like written content is the strongest when it comes to cold traffic, right? When it comes to an audience that doesn't know us yet. And so that's why I feel like learning how to write not only is the best, but also when you do hop on video, right? When you do hop on live, it's so much easier because you've already mastered what you're going to say. You've really gotten clear on that. And I hear from a lot of people, and I have so much to say. I want to create a course. Like I want to create a passive income course. I want to create a signature course, right? And they're not getting visible because they're waiting to create that course. But what I really encourage you is to start getting visible with some of that value now so that you can flesh that out in real time, right? And I feel like so often we hold back, right? I want to hold back my best content for my course. And while I think there is something to be said about, being mindful about the content we're creating for free versus paid, I think in general, especially at the start of your business, it's just so important that you're showing up and that you're giving value and that you're keeping consistent in that way. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I want you to think about is, and part of the reason why I see this to be true too, is I find that a lot of people with visibility where they get stuck is the lack of confidence, right? They're not feeling confident online. Here's some examples. Like I see that women are seeing other people, seeing that other people are doing exactly what they're doing and they're wondering, is there room for me, right? They're seeing other people get criticized on social media and they're saying, am I going to get criticized too, right? They're seeing other people who seem to maybe know more than you do, right? Is there room for me to show up on social media and share what I know, right? To claim to be true these things that, maybe someone would articulate in a more eloquent way. Is there room for me? And a lot of times there's that paralysis, even if you've been in business for a while. And I feel like when it comes to visibility and sales, right, we wait for that confidence to come. But I truly believe, and one of my clients in this last round of Visible Impact said, Anna, even though Visible Impact isn't about sales, I actually made sales and signed my first few clients in the program because, and this is going to sound crazy, but it wasn't necessarily because of the exact content that she wrote that got people to sign on with her, but she says it was because of her confidence, right? She was writing for 6 weeks and showing up online as the expert expert, which is so hard to do, right? Because we tell ourselves like, I don't know enough to be the expert, right? But when you show up for 6 weeks and you really establish yourself and you really are establishing your expertise, that confidence is magnetic. And that's going to translate when you show up on sales conversations, right? And so I feel like a lot of times we wait until we have the confidence to get visible, but I feel like it's the opposite, right? Which is our visibility is actually what gives us that confidence. Okay, let's see if there was something else I want to say. What written content does to you, even if you do show up on video, is it gives you something solid to be able to flesh out, right? And I really feel like it only takes one solid piece of content a week to get you going, right? How I teach is you write one main piece of content and then you can write some smaller pieces off of that, right? Often when you write one piece of content, it's so good and meaty that you can either A, break it into several pieces, or you can riff off of it, right? Maybe you write a tip post, you can write a story post off of it, right? Once you write that tip post and the story post, you can write an engaging question. And instead of exhausting yourself with content and feeling like your content is kind of like this hodgepodge, you can create so much more coherency. And honestly, you can exhaust yourself less when you start with just one piece a week. When you start with that one cohesive piece, right? It really changes the game when it comes to being consistent and when it comes to not exhausting yourself, right? And so I always encourage my content clients to start with that authority piece, right? To start with that one written authority piece. And it's just going to depend on what social platform you're writing for. But for me, I mostly write for my Facebook group. And so what I do is I take that authority piece. I also add on a story, right? I also add on a sales piece and an engagement piece. But I really feel like this process of writing content is timeless. Because no matter what social platforms change and grow, it is powerful to every single week in your business show up with a piece of valuable content, right? And then from there, decide how am I going to riff off of that, right? How am I going to change from there? And so I feel like when we do that and when we know, and again, taking it one step back, the reason why I have my clients create a 6-week content plan is so that you already know, oh, for the next 6 weeks, this is what I'm going to talk about. And also, I know that it's going to lead to my paid work, right? I know that this isn't just value content for value content's sake, but it really is strategic, right? And here's the other thing, and this can be really hard, especially if you've been in business for a little while. And you're not a newbie anymore. Don't fool yourself, right? If you've been in business and you've been visible, when you commit to 6 weeks of visibility in one direction, what that does is it keeps you from switching around so much because it's easy to get excited about new ideas, right? And it is good to work from a place of inspiration and from intuitive hits, right? Especially at the start. But I feel like how you grow your business and how you grow your income, instead of creating more and more things, it's really having one thing or maybe two things that you sell on repeat and get better at marketing. Do I need to say that again? I feel like I need to say that again, right? How you grow your business, how you grow your income is not by continually creating more paid content, but really creating more free content that funnels to the same dang paid content. Right? And finding new and unique ways to talk about it, right? And so being able to say in advance, okay, for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to focus on this, right? For 6 weeks, I'm going to focus on one direction in my business. I'm going to really be fierce and focused. And for each of those 6 weeks, I'm going to write one powerful piece of content. If you take Invisible Impact before, you're like, well, Anna, you have us write 4 pieces of content a week. Yes, but all off of one main piece, right? That way, worst case scenario, you're producing that one piece a week, right? And what I'm going to advise for you is just going to be different depending on where you're at. If you've been visible, not only do I want you creating that written content, but I want you showing up on live video. And again, let me tell you, something shifted in my live video when it came to conversions. You're going to be like, Diana, when I tell you this, is really planning my Facebook lives in advance and having them align with my written content, right? Again, that alignment is what, if you've seen my stuff online and you're like, Anna, how do you show up everywhere all at once? Well, number one, I have a team helping me now. But number two, even at the beginning, is I was really fierce about aligning my content, right? Around having one key piece a week and riffing off of that. And let me tell you, once I added a team, that was the biggest blessing because I already had a system and rhythm that my team could rinse and repeat, right? I wasn't hiring a team expecting them to rescue me, but I was really hiring a team to help me duplicate what I'm already doing, right? That is picking one direction for my content for 6 whole weeks, picking one, and then in advance deciding, for the most part, I do this, I'm not perfect at it. These are the 6 things I'm going to talk about to align with that. And then showing up every week and writing that content, right? Getting my booty in my desk chair and doing it. Literally, just think about that. One piece a week, right? One core piece a week, writing that. And again, you can either break it up. Often for my clients in Visible Impact, they'll write this beautiful piece of content, and I'll be like, this is great, but also this is super long. Like, this is basically a blog post, which is great, right? While you're writing, I encourage you not to filter, to just write, right? And not second guess yourself. Wait till the editing to do that. But often if you write a super long post, use some restraint, use some discipline, and I'm saying this to myself because I used to be really bad at this. Don't hit post on that super long blog post. Break that thing up and schedule it. Okay? Who here needed to hear that, right? I know it feels like, oh, I wrote all of this right now and I just feel like I need to post it right now. Use some restraint and break it down into bite-sized chunks. And that's a whole week of content often, right? Because this is social media, right? And what you can do is when you have all of your social posts, you can put them together for a blog post. But really, when you get inspired, I love that you said that, right? Just one post a week. And then you can riff off of that, or you can break it up. But giving yourself permission to do that is going to help your content be so much more quality, right? And so much more effective online. So that's it. This is just my short pep talk for you, right? To remind you that if you aren't in a rhythm, and I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, written content, that's going to take forever. Guess what? It actually doesn't. It actually can save you time. And that's why in Visible Impact, literally what we do is we sit down for 1 hour a week together on Zoom and we workshop the content. I really feel like you can write your whole week of content and prepare for your Facebook Live in 1 hour a week. I truly believe that, right? And I think in our minds, we say, oh, I don't have enough time to sit down and write. So what we do is we end up spending 20 hours on social media, scrolling and stuck and frustrated, right? Instead of just sitting our booty down in the chair and writing. And that's one of my favorite things is seeing people when you actually sit down and write for 45 minutes. At the end of usually our content workshopping, I hear so many people saying, wow, Anna, I just wrote some really good content, right? And part of that is because I provide, scripts and content prompts and all of that. But a lot of it is just because you don't give yourself accountability and permission to sit down and write. Right? And I get that it's scary. I get that it is so scary. And I think there are so many fears that come up when we write, right? And I heard too, a lot of times for my clients, I help them troubleshoot, where in the process of content does it feel hard? Because at the end of the day, content creation should feel very, not easy, but it should feel simple. So when it starts to feel complicated, what I do is help them troubleshoot, where is the breakdown in your process? And you may tell you where the breakdown usually is. Usually it is, in one of two places, right? Getting started. And that's why with the content plan, we decide what you're going to write in advance. So that's not a problem anymore. The second part is people start to write and then they start to doubt and second guess and then they stop. And then they'll say, Anna, I don't know what to write. And I'm like, wait, do you? Or is it that you started to write, but you started to second guess yourself? And almost always 80% of the time they're like, yeah, Anna, that was it. I started to write, but then as I went to go back and edit it, I was like, is this good enough? And I deleted stuff. And that is why you just have to let yourself go for 45 minutes and you will be shocked of what you're capable of. If you want to join me in this round of Visible Impact, we are starting a fresh round next week, 6 to 8 women. We're for 6 week. We content workshop together. So you get my Visible Impact framework, but you also have me live editing and reviewing your beautiful content. Also this round, my team is going to hop in and schedule content for you. I so needed that. I do that with video. My videos wind up being 20 minutes long. I need to break it down 100%. And it'll be so much easier, right? When you write a little bit and you can riff. I love just like this, in this video, right? I added some stuff that wasn't there before, but I started with a basis. I knew what I was going to say, right? I love what does Rob Bell call it, the nugget, right? I knew what the nugget was, right? And I really find that you get that through writing, right? And then the more you do that, and after you've written really good content for a long time, it is easier to just pop up on video randomly. But I really encourage you at the start of your business, or if you're looking to scale, right? And you're looking to sell more leverage, do more of your selling through visibility like this, right? In some more leverage programs, I do feel like it is so important to be able to capture in writing what it is that you want to communicate in your content, right? At the start of your business, because that's what helps you figure out your framework and what you actually believe, right? I feel like my first boost of visibility really helped me figure out, like, what do I even fully believe, right? What am I actually teaching here, right? That can be fleshed out. But now that I'm established in that, what I feel like it helps me do is it helps me sell in a leveraged way, right? I'm able to target my content and overcome objections. And I can tell you just a sneak peek how I'm even doing this in this video. So in my program, Visible Impact, we do video, but we mostly do writing, right? And so what I'm doing in this piece of content here, just to get meta, is teaching you why written content is so important. Because if you don't know the value and the importance of written content, you're not going to feel like that a program like that would be a good fit for you, right? And so as you get more advanced in your content, as you get more advanced in your business, I feel like that writing piece becomes even more important as you're figuring out sales psychology with your clients. If you guys have any questions on this, or if you have any questions about, I'll put the link to for Visible Impact if you'd love to join us, feel free to reach out and give yourself permission, even if it's not with me next week, sitting and writing together on Zoom, give yourself permission to sit your booty down in the chair and write some beautiful content this week. Your business will thank you. Your confidence, your sales stats will thank you. Okay. Hope you have a good Tuesday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. I would love to invite you to join the waitlist for my signature program, Visible Impact. It will take you from feeling invisible or inconsistent online to signing clients and writing magnetic content for 6 weeks. The goal is that you're actually getting visible during our 6 weeks together, but that you leave with a solid system for creating magnetic content on repeat. So if you want to join the waitlist to be the first to know when the doors open again, you can join that at annafranzen.com/visible impact.